consciousness. Ashley and Reverend Warren are passing out a handout to you. And I don't want you to fill it out yet, but you might grab a pen so you are able to. There's some in the seats in front of you. We're going to pause throughout the message to fill in the blanks. Because this message today is all about loving yourself. And before everyone freaks out and runs out the door, we're going to affirm our statements of truth together. As soon as they're finished passing out. Everybody done?
Yes.
Okay. Together? I am a child of God. I am deserving of food in my life. I am accepting my food now. Actually, you probably can open the door some now. When the sun hits the car a certain way, at a certain time of day. There you go. Oh, come back a little bit, sorry. Just a little, though. There you go. Perfect. Yay. So the title of my message today is called My Precious. And I chose this title after, yes, The Lord of the Rings, if you've watched that. I know, anybody here? Yeah. And there's this hobbit in the movie who was mutated by the evil power of the ring. And of course, we can know that the evil power was his own lust. And it is said that he was torn between the lust for the ring and wanting to be free of it. And he had come, that's the deal. He had come to love and hate the ring just as he loved and hated himself. And every time I watch that movie or I see the little hobbit guy, I'm fascinated by the dynamic of Gollum because his little personality comes through, and you can see that inner struggle that he has over wanting to not have the ring, but yet needing to have the ring, And he sits there and he holds that ring and he says, "My precious." Of course, I think you do it better, but yeah. But I think you can feel through his character the love-hate relationship he has with himself, and the idea that relationship is overpowering who he really is. And I think we can easily have empathy for him too, just from the way he looks. Some people really think that he's ugly, but if you watch the show, there's something about Gollum that kind of brings you in, and I think might be our own thoughts about a love and hate relationship with ourselves. And I don't expect you to answer this question out loud, but do you ever feel like you are torn between a love-hate relationship with yourself? You see, I totally get it, because we want to love ourselves. We know that's the healthy thing to do, and that's the spiritual thing to do, is to love ourselves beyond loving anyone. And we've been told that if we want to love others, then we must love ourselves first. And we know all this, but, and this is a big but, we don't always like what we see in the mirror, do we? No. We get in front of that full view mirror and we start criticizing or complaining or thinking maybe our butt is a little too big, And that's what I mean by a little big butt. But the thing is, we don't even want to go in dressing rooms anymore. I don't know about you, but I tend to grab some things and take them home and try them on in the mirror where I can only see from here up, Sometimes from here up, depending on my mood. But we don't ever take time to truly look at ourselves from head to toe sometimes. And I remember, like with Grace, her being in the bathroom, and sometimes she'd be in there forever, and I think to myself, what is she doing? And then I realized when I was that age, I was in the bathroom that long too, making sure every hair was shaved off my legs, and every hair under my arm, and that I didn't have a pimple, that my eyebrows were tweezed correctly, that every hair was in place. And that's a healthy thing. It's a healthy thing because she's caring about herself. But as we age, we tend to not want to look in those mirrors so closely anymore, and we tend to kind of go, it is what it is. And we tend to fall away from loving ourselves, from looking at ourselves and loving every part of our body. I mean, it's crazy. But let's just, I think, and then too, what happens is that we start to view ourselves like Gollum does, that love-hate relationship. We want to love ourselves. Oh, I love how caring I am, but, I need to lose 20 pounds. I mean, we do that to ourselves. We beat ourselves up. But let's switch our thinking for a moment. Because let's take a moment to just think of all the things, not people, that you love. We all have treasures. Perhaps it's your plants, or perhaps it's your car, or maybe you love something your grandmother gave you as a child. We all have those things we treasure that we truly love, right? Don't we?
Yes.
Think about what your treasure is, what your most valuable treasure is to yourself. I mean, it could be a photograph, it could be anything. And write it down in that first space. I love my treasure of whatever it is. Everybody got it? Okay, so now I know that we all here have someone that we love. I mean, it could be a spouse, a partner, a friend, a grandchild, a lover. Might not be your spouse. Might be the lover. No. Just kidding. And it could even be the pet that you truly, truly love. Whatever that special being is in your life, I want you to use that second space and write down, I love. And you can put more than one person if you want to, but just write down who it is that you truly, truly love. Mark, did you get a slip?
No, it's still making noise.
Reverend Warren's got one for you. Did you get one?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, everybody ready? All right. So your treasure and your loved one can be used as a reminder for you to know love. Those are things that you easily popped into your head that you could easily write down. The person that you love and the thing that you treasure. And last week, Reverend Warren spoke about different kinds of love, and he used some of these things as examples, but I thought it was wonderful because then we got ourselves in the mode for thinking about love. So right now, what I really would like for you to do is just think about that loved one that you wrote down. Just think about one of the persons that you wrote down, not all of them, if you wrote down more than one. If you only wrote down one, then just think of that one person. And in fact, I'd like for you to just close your eyes and envision that person that you wrote down, if you will. Just close your eyes and really think about that person. Think about how important they are in your life. And what they truly mean to you. And I want you to hold on to that thought and then think about the joy and the love that you share with them. Think about that for a moment and let that just bathe all through you. That love and joy that you share with that person. And before you open your eyes, I would love for you to picture them doing this exercise holding you in their hearts and picturing you as the person they love and truly feel joy with. And allow that to permeate through your body. And if that's hard for you to do, then go back to the feelings that you have for them. That love and joy that you have for them. If you can't picture them giving you that love and joy, then go back to you loving and having that joy with them. Can you feel that love that you have for them? Can you feel the love they have for you? Please open your eyes. Could you feel in that moment how precious that person was to you? Yes? No? And could you feel how precious you are to someone else? Yes? I hope the answer is yes, because this is important. We have to be able to willingly open up our feelings and embrace them, even if it comes and pertains to us. We have to be willing to feel the love of someone else, but also be able to feel the love from them. And if we look at it as the same kind of thing, it opens up a whole new path for our relationships. Fillmore wrote this in Mysteries of Genesis. This truth is that even man's physical body is the precious fruit of God. Our body. It has its origin, though, in spirit and is innately spiritual. It must eventually express and manifest God, spirit, thus giving all praise, honor, and glory to the Father mind through which it came into existence. God is renowned. So the thing is that our origin and our existence is in spirit, and we are spiritual. Everybody agree with that? Yes. And when we are feeling lack or something that isn't right, how often do we stop and turn within and affirm that we are a spiritual being? We don't always do that, do we? If something isn't right, we put on an outfit, it doesn't fit right, what do? We go to beating ourselves up. If somebody says something to us that we don't like, what do? We tend to jump on the drama wagon, don't we? Instead of turning within and saying, I'm a spiritual being. I feel that person's pain. I feel where that person's coming from. Or I can behold the Christ in that person no matter what they are saying to me. And when we look in the mirror and our outfit doesn't fit, we can say, oh, I still love you just the way you are. And mean it. But that lack tends to take us in a different direction. We run around all over the place searching for the next best thing, don't we? We either go out and buy bigger clothes, or we find different people to hang out with, thinking that's going to change it all. It's all about everybody else. It's not about anything I'm doing. And we start craving something outside of ourselves. And I do mean craving. And it could be food, it could be shopping, or the next best guru. And we think that we are craving something beyond the unlimited substance that we are, and we find ourselves miserable, either because we've gained weight, spent more money, or we still have that longing in our soul, because we didn't turn within, because we didn't see ourselves as a spiritual being first. We went to that physical aspect and didn't behold ourselves as man's physical body is the precious fruit of God. We didn't see that for ourselves. And the thing is that God is great. Won't you agree?
Yes.
And so are we. Will you agree with that?
Yes.
Because there is nothing to crave outside of ourselves. That is lack consciousness. And that's what makes us do that. Whoops. Sorry. Everything that we ever need is within us and is as us. The essence of God, that unlimited source, is within us. So that means that we are perfect. Can you agree?
Yeah.
And some of you might not feel perfect on the outside, and that's okay. Start with feeling perfect on the inside, knowing that as a spiritual being, everything on the outside is going to fall into place. However it falls. But you know what the unifying power is that can get us to see beyond the physical? Does anybody know? Don't answer. Does anybody know?
Love.
Love. Thank you, Janelle. It is. It's love. Love is the essence of what is so precious within us, because it allows us to feel the power of God moving in and through us. When I asked you to close your eyes and think about that person, that special person, that was the essence of God moving in and through you. The energy of God can only express through us. The energy of God expresses through the trees and nature just naturally. The sky, we have had some beautiful skies the last few days. I hope you've been enjoying them. The color of the blue has just been so fabulous, and those clouds are just like pieces of art. And the thing is that expresses naturally, and so do we, because we have the essence of God within us. That energy of God only comes through and expresses through us and what we do. So we have to make the choice that we are going to accept ourselves exactly how we are. And if we make a mistake, it's okay. The next breath, you say, I'm a spiritual being. And it switches everything. Because you feel the love you have for yourself. I love this one from Fillmore too. It's from Mysteries of John. And it's a little story about Judas. And everybody knows who Judas is? You know, the guy that turned Jesus in. Judas Iscariot is sense consciousness. So think of that. Is incarnated selfishness, and his every thought is to build up personality. When Mary anoints the feet of Jesus, Mary is love, when love pours out her precious substance, diffusing its essence throughout the whole being, I'm going to say, not man, Judas inquires why the ointment was not sold and the proceeds given to the poor. The Judas consciousness, or sense consciousness, believes in poverty, lack, and has no understanding of the true law of supply. All that comes into consciousness is selfishly appropriated and dissipated by this thief, yet he produces nothing. Sense consciousness is the enigma of existence, and in it is wrapped up the mystery of individuality. Now think about this. How many times have we lived from that Judas, that sense consciousness, instead of living from the aspect of love and letting everything pour out? We'll get intimidated by people, right? And we will back up and we will put up our wall and we won't love. Who's it hurting? Yeah, it's not hurting anybody else, it's hurting us. And we're living from that sense consciousness. Instead of seeing, it doesn't matter how much love I give out there, there's still more love. There's an overabundance, a plethora of love everywhere we go. And that's the beautiful thing. We rob ourselves of all there is because we start living in personality or sense consciousness rather than individuality or super consciousness. And we know super consciousness is? God. That's right. Thank you, Dr. Barber. You got an A on your test. If we can see how precious God is to our existence, then why can't we see how important we are to God's existence? Think about that. How important we are to God's existence. Because if we're not here, we're not expressing God, are we? No. That's why I believe that even when people make their transition, their memories that we hold on to, that we enjoy, is still God expressing through them, through us. And that's what we want to do. And we want to hold on to those memories that express that love. Not anything that we say, oh, yeah, that person did that to me, so that's why I did this. Not any of that. The idea that these memories are the joy. I mean, find the joy in the things from even a person that you feel harmed by. Find something that they took you to the zoo or they pulled you around in a wagon. Anything that you found joy, and focus on that and share that memory. Because those are the important ones, the ones that we share love. And when we can claim that God is good, we have to be able to claim that God is good all the time and that we are good. Don't we? I had this thing with Aiden where I would tell him that he was good. And he would go back to me, yeah. Some of you heard it. I know he was saying good back to me. Somebody else might say it wasn't, but I'm claiming it as good. And it would be like I'd be changing his diaper or something, and I would go, oh, Aiden, you are so good. And he'd go, good, like this. And I said, yes, you are good. And I said, please don't ever forget that you are good. And the thing is, I thought about that. And I thought, every one of us, at some point in our lives, have heard somebody tell us that we were good. But why don't we hang on to that? Why don't we remember how good we really are? And take that forth in every moment of our lives, because we are good. Every single one of us are good. And we have to remember that and live from that. And when we do that, then we are living from that Mary aspect of ourselves, or from love. And we will be able to view the truth as truth. And we take these baby steps, being able to see how precious we truly are, and how our love for others also is our love for ourselves. So every time you say you love someone else, just see yourself feeling that love back. Myrtle said, did I give you the Myrtle quote? No. Here it is. We need more often to think of our body as being the temple of divine love. Can we do that? Oh my gosh. The very substance of health and harmony, in order that this truth may be implanted in our subconscious mind, which controls the body functioning. We need more often to pray for a true concept of substance, for with it we shall receive a glorious revelation that will go a long way toward transforming the mind, soul, and body. This concept of substance will be but the beginning of a transformation that will continue until we shall be able to demonstrate as Christ Jesus did. Now that last sentence might have you freak out, because some of you might not feel like you can turn water into wine or feed the 5,000. But don't worry. If we make it all about our ego and personality, then of course we're just like Judas and Gollum, and we can't do that, can we? But if we turn, because that's when we're living from lack and not being enough. But when we turn to that Mary aspect of ourselves and come from love, we will be able to do a lot more things in our lives. And it might be feeding the 5,000. It might be changing the water into wine. We don't know what our possibilities are. They're unlimited. And there's so many things we have yet to do. And Myrtle says that we need more often to think of our body as being the temple of divine love. Don't you love that? Can you think of your body as being the temple of divine love? Can we start doing it anyway? And then, once we do that, can we think of our body as being the very substance of health and harmony? Can we?
Yes.
Yes, because if you can do that, then you're going to move into that place to where you love yourself more. So now what I want you to do is pick one thing about yourself that you love. Now this may be that you are artistic or meticulous or talented or entertaining. Maybe you use the virtue you received a couple weeks ago. Maybe you are a good friend, a mother, a daughter, a son, or maybe you love several things about yourself, and that is good too. Whatever they are, you're going to fill them out in the handout. You're going to say, I love that I am, and write it in. And you should be able to think at least one thing that you love about yourself. And then if you've read ahead, you know the next one is going to be a little bit tougher. Everybody got that one? Now think about your physical self and choose at least one thing that you love about your body. Maybe you love your hair, your eyes, your nose, your smile. Maybe you love your legs or your waist or your hands or your toes, whatever it is. Pick something that you love and fill in the blank where it says, I love my blank physical aspect. Find one thing. Everybody got that? So you filled in all the spaces now on that handout. And this becomes a prayer card personalized by you for you. And we know that when we take time to pray each day, that we can affirm in our prayers. And we're going to say our prayer cards together, if you will, with me. And whatever you filled in those spaces, just say them. You can say them out loud if you want to, or say them to yourself, okay? So everybody together. I love my treasure of my wedding ring. I love Warren, Aiden, and our kids. So everybody's saying whatever they wrote down. I love that I am creative. I love my hair and my nose. Everybody's got something? Yes? So together, let's say those last two lines. My body is the temple of divine love, the very substance of health and harmony. I am precious. So I invite you to post this somewhere where you can remind yourself of the love you have for yourself. It becomes your own personal prayer card. And it's easy to affirm how precious we are and how our bodies are that temple of love. If we have it in front of us, and it will make a difference in our lives because it starts changing our perspective about ourselves. And this truth will allow us to love ourselves as we love God, because that's what's important, because we are all precious. Thank you for being here today.